Woke up this morning, I suddenly realized we're all in this together.
So we were going to start off talking about reciprocity this week. Carolyn can't say the word, so keep watch on it. So basically we were kind of thinking about the idea that the internet is a give and take. Mm-hmm. You're supposedly, you put in something and then you kind of expect something back. But the idea of reciprocity is you don't expect it to come back to you. You kind of hope for it and maybe secretly wish for it, but it's not something that you're sitting there waiting for it. Yet YouTube, people are constantly saying, oh, please comment, always comment. Fan fiction people always, please comment. Like, they ask for these things. So it kind of changes how we have to think of reciprocity on the internet. It's not just something that is freely given. It's something that is frequently asked for and a lot of times expected.
Yeah, but still, I mean, reciprocity usually does have positive connotations, and that, like, the word reciprocity, I give you something, you give me something back, it has to do with sharing, it has to do with community, and so I do think still all these claims of, like, narcissism, at least, or just trying to get your face out there, I think claims like that can be disputed, and that it's not just a cry for attention. I mean, I think there's something to the idea that that people reciprocate because that's how communities are built. Because it's something that's expected, but it's something that's expected at Christmas time too. And we don't necessarily call that selfish. That if I give someone a present, not me, but if somebody gives someone a present, often they expect to get something in return, and they're not going to ask for it, and they're not going to be disappointed if they don't get it, but maybe a little bit.
But going off of that, I'm trying to find the name of the guy right now because I can't remember it. The Why Videos Go Viral, that Kevin Akala video, the TED Talks video, he was talking about how the fact is we can create YouTube stars very easily. And it's something that a lot of people, when they put themselves online, they want to become not necessarily famous, but they want to become recognized in some way. Mm-hmm. So while we could definitely argue that no, they're not like fame-seeking whores or anything like that, there are people up there who are like, I want to get famous on YouTube. I want to be a YouTube star. Like, generally, you don't put yourself on camera and put yourself out there for no reason. Like, generally, it's to get some kind of response in some way. Whether it's to create a video to one of the, It Gets Better videos for other people to see and, like, make other people feel better. Whether it's one of the makeup videos to say, ha, I'm better at this than you are, let me teach you. Or whether it's us doing a video for class and talking at you guys. But what are we doing? Yeah. We are experimenting with electracy rather than literacy when talking about creative system. Yes. So, granted, we can't say that all of it's, people looking for fame, but I feel like a lot of it is now. And the idea that because, Justin Bieber became popular on this, other people have made it. People have become stars. What's her face? Carly Rae Jepsen. The only reason she's famous is because YouTube. People started posting videos on that really annoying song.
But then, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let me do Pussycat Dolls. Anyway, the reverse is true as well. Sometimes the reciprocity is not positive, and that's something that, Sarah talks about in her book. And that is certainly... it deserves attention because, Justin Bieber gets all this negative backlash as well. One blogger that I know of, Lacey Green, do you know who that is? Okay. She blogs advice to young girls about sex, questions that they wouldn't be able to ask their parents or their teachers or anything. And so her blogs are targeted at young women. She does a really good job of it. She's a sex educator and she's young herself. And she got some death threats for doing that. And it's just really sad because she was somebody who was trying to educate people. And she does this online because she expects that reciprocity, because she expects people to respond positively. But, of course, she gets a lot of negative responses as well because, she's encouraging young girls to have sex. And so there's the reverse side as well. And we talked about that in class. That's something we haven't really talked about is what happens afterwards, right? And I think that's something that deserves attention as well.
Well, it definitely deserves attention, but I think it's something that we still have no idea what the overall long-term effects of this are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this type of interaction has only really been present for maybe the last decade.
Yeah, it's not like child stars that we know all about already.
So our generation, we're going to have to compete with things that we like that any other generation, they don't know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's going to be like in 30 years when we're all running for government offices, when we're trying to become CEOs for things. Are these kind of videos going to come back and haunt? Well, probably not us, but
no, but like
it's
going to be president. Like nobody hasn't had I don't know who. How is there going to be a president who hasn't had like a crazy online thing at one point?
Well, it's going to have to change how we view what we view as deemed appropriate, and that's something that's actually going to be. It's going to be interesting to watch because people are, constantly. You have to be an upright citizen. You have to this. You can't. You have to. Generally, the presidents have some kind of leaning towards religion. Generally, they're seen as family people. If they have anything in their past, they try and at least skirt around it. It's not really something that's plausible anymore, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but that's gonna change how we think.
It just changes our perception, so that's not good or bad. It's just a shift.
It's just going to be an interesting one to examine in the future, and something that we aren't going to have much access to for a while. We're just going to be experiencing it firsthand instead.
Reciprocity, people.
Good job, Carol.
Thanks.